I love the smell of libtards panicking in the morning, and they are freaking out over at The View. Hair on fire as all ABC stations are running this emergency advertisement to try and save the witch's kitchen of The View. Listen to this.
I had this idea for a show. Different women, different points of view.
Whoa, wait. Different women, different points of view. Name a different point of view in this photo that is the current cast members of The View. Do any of these women deviate on anything at all? No, every single one of them is a paid propagandist for the far left. And so there's maybe your first lie.
Welcome your favorite guests and covered the issues you care about.
That you didn't welcome my favorite guests. You didn't have President Trump on the show. You don't have Republicans on the show. You had Don Jr. on one time and he called you out for defending pederasts and racists. And so, no, you haven't had my favorite guest on the show. You haven't had me on the show.
For nearly 30 years. Now, the FCC wants to control who is allowed to appear on the show. Viewers, use your voice. Scan this QR code. You have until July 6th.
They want the View to be governed by American law that says that they must provide equal time if they're using public broadcasting infrastructure, which is what ABC is. There's a public broadcaster. You turn on a TV, you get ABC for free as a lavish benefit of the American taxpayer and government infrastructure. So yeah, they have to live by rules if you want all of the luxuries of being a taxpayer dependent. But I love this argument's incredible. We built a show with incredible women with incredible views.
Different women, different points of view.
Different women, different points of view, like the time that Whoopi Goldberg farted and burped at the same time.
Still believe that he cared enough about his wife to pay that was gas.
So here's the fart.
Believe that he cared enough about his wife to pay
and there's the burp. Okay, cool. That's great. That's only the second dumbest thing that Whoopi Goldberg has done on The View. This is maybe the first dumbest thing. She says that black people in America have it worse than people in Iran in 2025.
And it's slow.
But let's just remember, too, the Iranians literally throw gay people off of buildings. They don't adhere to basic human rights.
Listen, here's the thing. Let's not do that, because if we start with that, we have been known in this country to tie gay folks to the car.
Where the Iranian regime is
true, by the way. The whole Matthew Shepard thing is
hanging black people. So
it is not even the same. I couldn't step foot during this.
Wait. That's not what you mean to say. It is the same.
No, it's not. The year 2025 in the United States is nothing like if I step foot wearing this outfit in Toronto.
I'm sorry.
So I love this. So this is considered the right-wing voice. This is considered the obscene right-wing voice. Some chick who crashed out and turned on the Trump administration and sold them all out during January 6th. That's what's considered right-wing on The View. And even her opinions that Iran is governed by Sharia law, which they are, and they're a theocracy, and an Islamic theocracy, that's not considered a valid viewpoint on The View, because Whoopi Goldberg says that black people were once mistreated in America, or gays. One time a bad thing happened to a gay guy. This is the type of logic and programming that shouldn't be subsidized by the American taxpayer. It shouldn't be anywhere on TV, and it's going to get ripped off air. I'm telling you, I know things. FCC probe into The View heats up. Media Research Center submits 2,400 different separate pieces of evidence documenting pervasive bias, which is obvious. You don't even need to do it. You just turn on the TV and watch. But here we go. FCC Chairman Brendan Carr says for years, legacy TV networks assume that their late night and daytime talk show qualified as bona fide news programs, even when motivated by purely partisan political purposes. In February, the FCC launched an investigation into The View following the appearance by Texas Democrat candidate James Tallarico, first political candidate to appear on the show. Tallarico was facing other candidates. They didn't invite those other candidates on. They didn't invite Ken Paxton or John Cornyn, Wesley Hunt, or Jasmine Crockett. Not even a party thing, not even a race thing. And it's weird. They invited like the creepy trans white guy, right? And not the two black candidates. And I thought Whoopi Goldberg was really concerned about the plight of black people or something in America and representation. But like, you blocked out the two black candidates, Wesley Hunt and Jasmine Crockett? That's crazy. Why would you do that? Anyway, Fox News at the time, Fox News reported, ABC parent company, Disney, made an equal time filing with the FCC, saying that they believe that The View is a news program exempt from the equal time requirement. Oh, okay. Yeah, got it. So anyway, in a letter, the FCC, so Media Research Center, said, David Bozell says, for nearly 4 decades, the Media Research Center has been tracking this, and the supporting petition MRC is submitting 2,473 separate pieces of video evidence documenting The View's pervasive bias, at times willful electioneering, as exhibited by this comment. Okay. Let's go ahead and look. For instance, they found that The View only spoke with 2 guests that exposed conservative views. Their interview with J.D. Vance last week was one of 2 conservatives, even though we have unified right-wing government. And I'm going to give you a real-world example of what is happening right now on The View and why they must be shut down. Karmelo Anthony says, I'm not alleged I did it, in video evidence of his crime. So now we have the video evidence of the Karmelo Anthony murder, right? We have the body camera. We have the stadium cameras. We have everything. We have all the cameras. We have all the angles. We see it. We saw it. He admitted to it. All the witnesses saw it. There is no wiggle room there at all, except for on The View, which The View decided that they were going to lie about Karmelo Anthony. They have to make on-air corrections about lies that they made in order to not get sued. And they said things like, there were no black people in the tent. Well, that's not true. The Karmelo Anthony was the only black person there. There's no self-defense claim. Karmelo Anthony sentenced to 35 years. The View co-host React. Karmelo Anthony murdered Austin Metcalf by plunging a knife into his heart. Stop trying to make this a racial issue. Young man is dead. So The View getting completely dragged. I don't understand anything that they're talking about. You can't start a confrontation, goad someone into pushing you, and then claim self-defense after killing them. Every concealed carry class is in existence hammers that scenario home. 3 straight minutes of lies and misinformation from the gang of midwits. Unreal. This is the type of misinformation, the reason why people outside of the court were upset. For instance, the claim that he's the only black guy under the tent is false. There's one black man specifically refuted this defense as willful, pure ignorance. These women lie show after show, and now Sunny Hostin is outright defending the murderer. The View cannot stoop any lower. The View claims Karmelo Anthony was the only black man under the tent. This is factually incorrect. The fact that many young athletes who testified on the stand were black. They testified against Karmelo Anthony. At least 6 young black men. Also, one black juror who was struck told prosecutors he would have a hard time putting a brother in jail. Oh, okay. No accountability for the constant and blatant misrepresentation of facts. Well, the accountability could come from the Trump administration looking in to actually shutting down The View, which they are looking at right now, and potentially taking out ABC's local stations, like stripping ABC of the broadcast licenses for local stations, forcing them to sell local stations. ABC pushes on-air campaign for audience that supports as FCC investigates Democrat-friendly network. Yo. ABC escalates battles with FCC, launches on-air campaign begging for help. You can submit a comment here to the FCC, but I'm telling you right now, man, this is not going to end well for Disney. This is going to be really, really bad, and I guess we'll let Austin Metcalf's father have the final word on this. He's been snapping and he snapped on The View in a recent interview, and also on Carmelo Anthony's family. So unbelievably sad. They can't even have the dignity to keep their mouths shut when this guy's son was killed. Women are sick. These women are completely sick. All right. Here's Austin Metcalf's poor dad, man. You just feel so bad for him. Talking about what he's going through. Shut down The View, if anything, on behalf of how they lied about this guy's kid. There you go.
I was hoping we could show the world this wasn't a racial divide thing, that we could kind of close the gap instead of widening it. But at that point, they'd obviously retained the services of Dominique Alexander, a convicted baby-shaking felon advocate who decided to throw me out of the press conference, had me removed by police, and then proceeded to gaslight me and tell me how I was such, I can't remember the word he used, but that I shouldn't have been there, and it was not dignified to my son or myself, which I really couldn't quite understand as they proceeded to gaslight me. And also took there was a young lady who has followed the case also from the entire time. Her name is Sarah Fields. Also showed information about her. That's when they took it from any type of remorse, which they did not show, to the fact of now we're going to play the race card. And now we're going to politicize this. Now we're getting a political activist involved. The two things I said on one of the first interviews I ever did was, please don't make this about race, and please don't politicize it. But they chose to do both.
And your goal that day was to simply get together and pray?
All I wanted, yeah. I was actually hoping to show them, hey, look, man, I know what happened was terrible. And your son made a horrible mistake. I was hoping for some accountability maybe and some remorse. Neither one was shown.
Have you ever spoken to the Anthonys?
No.
No apology, no remorse?
Nothing.
You were telling me you were inside the courtroom, quite obviously. After the verdict, the Anthonys left. They weren't there for Carmelo's sentencing.
That is correct. They weren't there for the sentencing, and they were not there for victim impact statements. They left that poor child up there by himself. As soon as the verdict was read, he was guilty. His family and some other advocates left the courtroom and turned in their badges.